This is Xishuangbanna in Yunnan province, southwest China, lying just to the south of the Tropic of Cancer. It is a lush oasis in a semi-desert zone. Influenced by the monsoon climates of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, the area is warm and humid all year round. It boasts the best preserved and most complete tropical ecosystem in China. The vast jungle, crisscrossed by rivers, is a place where exotic flora and fauna thrive. Amid the dense vegetation here lives a species unique to the continent, the Asian elephant. The warm and humid climate has nurtured in Xishuangbanna a rich treasure trove of wildlife, making it one of the most biodiverse regions in the world. Roaming the rainforest unchallenged, the Asian elephants are master here. Now a family of elephants are embarking on a mysterious adventure. Once found across the continent, the Asian elephant has seen its habitat gradually shrink over the millennia to become merely this stretch of rainforest. Covering an area of 2,420 square kilometers, the Xishuangbanna rainforest is home to nearly 300 wild Asian elephants. Maintaining their ancient social structure, they still live in family herds. Xishuangbanna has no distinct winter and summer. Instead, it has alternating dry and wet seasons. The influence of global warming has lengthened the dry season. For these hardy eaters, this is definitely not good news. A herd of a dozen elephants will consume thousands of kilos of food every day. To fill their stomachs, they must travel deeper into the rainforest. A family herd comprises female adults and their young offspring. They form a close-knit group. This female is named Duoli as the new leader of the herd. She is responsible for the family's affairs. The herd's future, even its survival, depends on the decisions she makes. A female adult gives birth to a baby every 8 years, so newborns are especially prized. A month or two ago, Duoli had her first daughter, Daimei. Under the care of her mother, aunts, and sisters, Daimei is happy and carefree. The presence of boys like Zhaomo, Xiaoqiang, and the young adult Daya gives the impression of a thriving family. Food is scarce in the dry season. As the leader of the herd, Duoli has to make a decision. She cannot recall such an extended dry period. This has been their home for a long time, but now the herd must bid it farewell. The sun blazes fiercely in the morning sky. The sweltering heat makes the herd restless. It's time to set out. Duoli trumpets the order, summoning the whole extended family to follow her deep into the rainforest. As the leader of the herd, she's expected to know the rainforest intimately. For centuries, mothers have passed this lore to their daughters, from one generation to the next. Duoli is leading the herd towards a temporary refuge beside the Sancha River. Despite her youth, Duoli has etched on her mind the paths taught her by her mother. Now, her only worry is whether her baby girl, Daime, can manage the arduous trek to come. But for the little one on her first journey, everything she sees is fresh and fascinating. The rainforest is a maze of paths and trails. These were left by their ancestors when they tramped through the jungle. Following these elephant highways, Duoli leads her family purposefully forward. The tender foliage and vines are the elephant's favorite food. 4-year-old Xiao Qiang is excited at the sight of the woodbine. For him, the vines are both food and entertainment. The swinging of the vines alarms an orchid mantis who's taking a nap. Resembling a flowering plant, this insect is a proud fellow. It had planned on using its sophisticated camouflage to blend into the surroundings and rest. But the arrival of the elephants has panicked it. The encounter puts an end to its plan to relax. Continuing to enjoy its accustomed ease and comfort is clearly impossible. With great reluctance, the orchid mantis decamps. With the rainy season long past, Duoli is aware that, in order to survive the dry spell, it's essential for everyone to gain weight. Therefore, the journey through the jungle is punctuated by regular forays in search of food. An adult elephant living in the wild devours up to 300 kilos of food a day. To process this huge volume, the elephant's digestive system has to work at full efficiency. During their daily trudge, the elephants gobble up the seeds of hundreds of plant species. Once inside the elephant's stomach, most of the seeds pass through undigested and intact, and are discharged in their droppings across the jungle. While traversing the rainforest, the elephants act as unwitting gardeners. With their hefty bulk, they barge through the dense vegetation, allowing more sunlight to penetrate and giving the undergrowth a chance to thrive. Many days have passed, but the drought continues relentlessly. There's no sign of rainfall. The animals and plants in the forest are coping with the heat in their own different ways. The lethargic lorises choose to sleep as a way of escaping the oppressive temperatures. The arrival of the weary elephants shatters the peace and quiet. The noise made by these giants wrenches the primates from their dreams. Bleary-eyed and confused, they seem quite upset. But they certainly have more sense than to challenge these behemoths. A young gibbon happens to intrude onto the scene. Immediately, it becomes the object of the primate's indignant ire. The lorises are not happy about such a flagrant invasion of their territory. And soon, an innocent grasshopper also becomes the victim of the lorises' wrath. The young gibbon, shunned by its fellow primates, looks miserable and forlorn. Abandoned by its parents, it has no one to turn to for help or sympathy. Looking lonely and timid, it will continue to wander the jungle, vainly seeking some tender, loving care. This year, the drought is especially severe. The temperatures throughout the jungle remain above 50 degrees Celsius for days on end, 5 to 6 degrees higher than in previous years. In spite of the testing weather conditions, Duoli resolutely leads her herd onward, maintaining a pace of several dozen kilometers a day. Since the start of their journey, the resilience shown by her family and by Daime in particular has reassured Duoli. To shield themselves from the merciless sun, the elephants employ a unique form of protection. They scoop up some wet mud, and by smearing it on their back, screen themselves from the ultraviolet rays. But this affords only temporary relief. Duoli knows they must hurry and reach their destination soon. As the leader, Duoli must come up with a strategy. Besides deciding the best route, she's responsible for the herd's safety. Under her leadership, the family pulled together and proceed in an orderly fashion. After a fortnight's trudge, they are almost at their destination. In the middle of the herd, Duoli's acute sense of smell and hearing tell her that their destination is not far off. Exhilarated, she calls on the herd to make a final dash. Finally, the river comes into view. This is where their journey ends, the Sancha River. This place is known as Wild Elephant Valley. Amid the luxuriant rainforest and evergreen broadleaf trees, many rare animals and plants are to be found. Here, the herd have access to a full larder. After their strenuous trek, the elephants enjoy their bath immensely. Their parched skin can now be refreshed. The water soaks the elephants' coarse, rugged skin and eases the pain from the bites and stings they received in the jungle. The sand and mud at the Sancha River contain abundant minerals, which, for the elephants, are a source of much-needed nutrients to supplement their vegetarian diet. This is why these waters have for generations been regarded as a source of life for Asian elephants. The river has become a playground for the herd. They enjoy themselves to the full in the welcoming river. Duoli is clearly very relieved now that the burden has been lifted from her shoulders. As a new leader, she had very little experience to fall back on. But thanks to her wisdom and determination, she accomplished her mission through her display of grit and ability. She proved to the entire herd her authority and reliability as a leader. But the trivial aspects of managing a family present her with yet more challenges. In the new environment, the herd has grown excited. This 12-year-old male, Daya, finds it hard to contain himself. At the age of 12, an elephant is already an adult. Having recovered from the exhausting journey, Daya becomes frisky and aggressive, rampaging among the herd and causing trouble. He's becoming overconfident and is threatening the leader's authority. Once they've grown up, the male adults in an elephant herd are expected to strike out on their own. Daya's behavior in recent days has caused Duoli to reflect on this. After considering the situation, she has decided to put her foot down and exercise her authority. Daya is to be expelled from the herd. Duoli's decision is a shock to Daya, who becomes anxious and panic-stricken. He bows in apology, but Duoli suppresses the urge to show mercy. She insists that Daya must leave. For a moment, Daya is at a loss, unable to accept the dreadful prospect. He's depressed and alone. The thought of facing a strange world on his own overwhelms him and fills him with dread. But as the head of the herd, Duoli can't keep her family safe if Daya remains. So Daya will end his life of relative ease. The advice offered before they part company will be Duoli's last act of kindness to him. But the crisis isn't over. The heat is still oppressive. The rainfall should have arrived long before now. So Duoli must work harder and come up with alternative plans to cope with the prolonged drought. Duoli is kept so busy that she has little time for her daughter, Dai Mei. Her aunts and cousins help with looking after the little one. Dai Mei still needs to be breastfed, but Mom doesn't have enough milk to give her the sustenance she needs to last the day. The hungry baby won't give up and approaches Duoli's cousin. But the cousin is still young and unable to help. Fortunately, an aunt is around, and her milk is just what Dai Mei needs. The prolonged drought has reduced the Sancha River to 1/3 of its normal level. But for Dai Mei, the depth is just right for her to wade fearlessly in. This naughty boy is called Jia Mao. He's 2 years old. Dai Mei's arrival has made him very happy. All he can think about is playing with her. as other young ones join the fray. The stretch of water becomes an amusement park for the young elephants. Meanwhile, Iroli is still fretting about the drought. The whole jungle seems to be yearning for some desperately needed rainfall. Then, in the blink of an eye, the transformation happens. The round drops of water from the sky quickly spread over the entire forest. They mark the advent of Xishuangbanna's wet season. As the rain intensifies, sheets of water pour into the river and swell it relentlessly. The elephant herd rejoices at the sudden downpour. Splashing in the water, they enjoy the gift from Mother Nature. The timely downpour has eased Iroli's worries. It means her family will have more than enough to eat in the coming months. The young ones will have plenty of nourishment to ensure their healthy growth. Over the months to come, rain will be the most common feature of the climate here. Numerous animals and plants will make use of it to grow and flourish and expand their living space. The rainforest will be filled with life. The alternating dry and wet seasons dictate the rhythm of life here. Towering figures like these once overran the whole Asian continent. Today, the Asian elephants are masters of the rainforest. Protected and cared for by human beings, they have regained their former vigor and dignity and are prospering